It helps when you're broadcasting live to actually hit the go live button. One of these days, this is just going to make a lot more sense. Working in Twinmotion, got a very interesting house for this project. There's some kind of huge hillside here that's just all rock face off the back end of this project, so which is kind of cool. So I got to build out the terrain. These Twinmotion videos have been kind of popular. I guess people are getting into Twinmotion, having fun with it for their visualizations. I have a workflow that I use to add terrain. So I need to add a terrain here. So I'm going to kind of jump over from Twinmotion to, hey. Dude, your work. I've seen your work. Your work is fantastic. If you guys haven't checked his stuff out, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so I've got a little plugin called 3D Mapper. I don't actually know where I bought this from. It's, you got to pay for it, but I use it for importing pretty realistic looking terrain into Twinmotion. So here we go. I'm looking for Sierra Peaks Drive, and this application, which is a plugin for Photoshop, gives me it's highlighting this area, and what it's going to do is it's going to generate terrain based on a bunch of different things, a bunch of different algorithms. I'm not really sure how it works, but I might want to zoom in a couple times just to get in tight here. And I think this is about the locale, so right about there. And sometimes I'll double check what this application produces by using Google Earth Pro. Let me see if I can get the actual address. I think it's 2255. Let me see here. So looking through my project files, and the client obviously gets a little survey, and then they give me address. Let's see, 1225 Sierra Peaks Drive. So then I'll plug that in here. And this program's a little finicky. It's not as good as just looking up on Google Maps for an address like this. But anyways, there we go. And so I've got to kind of take a guess at how many feet at this zoom level this particular segment is. I'm going to hit this check mark, and what's going to happen is this is going to analyze that location and build me a terrain. And in the meantime, I'll double check this on my other screen. I want to see that census, that plot of land I grabbed there, how many feet that is. And we can take a look just by looking at this 1,000-foot mark, right? And if we look at Photoshop to get an idea, within this little section of land, I've got this quiet cove street in here. There's no real science to this. I'm just guessing and checking. Autumn Walk. So let me get back to this view, and we can see there's that Autumn Walk, right? Autumn Walk is okay. So we actually need to move this terrain over. We're a little off the mark because our project is a little to the right of Autumn Walk. So need to go back, find this location again. Let's see. Get in real tight here. There's Autumn Walk. So our address is over here. In fact, it's right there. And I might zoom out just one level. That's kind of the tract I want right there. And at that level, if we look at Gmaps, we're just barely catching this star view. So this is kind of the zoom level. So 100 foot, So if we're looking at this from that perspective, we got maybe 1,000 square foot section cut here. If you're following this at all, who knows if you're following this at all. So I want to zoom out just a little bit in my program in this plugin. So I'm going to zoom out one level, and now we're going to get closer to like a 3,000 square foot cut. I'm going to hit my check mark. This is going to produce a topography based on a bunch of different things. And then I don't know why, as soon as we zoomed out, we got kind of a flat terrain, which I don't like that because it's definitely not flat. So let's try this one more time. It's a bit of a finicky program, but when you do get it right, you can actually have this plug into Twinmotion and give you some real topography. Let's try. All right, we'll try the 1,000 square foot cut, see if this works. See if we can get a height map here that makes sense. It's still flat as can be, which is, we know this is wrong. So let's see, maybe we'll zoom out more. Get something like that. All this is just to create a black and white gradient map that can be imported into. Yeah, this is just wrong. All right, let's go look at, see if we can find this in Google Earth. So what happens is here, I'll pull up another project so you guys can see what we're even doing. Take one of these old projects here. So this program will create this grayscale map, and the blacks become your valleys and the whites become your peaks in Twinmotion. And you can set how many meters this is as you're importing it into Twinmotion, and Twinmotion will create a pretty realistic looking terrain out of this. I might just reuse this, to tell you the truth, because I know that this locale is not that far off of where I'm trying to be. So here's Google Earth Pro. Let's see if we can't find this site and see just how flat it is, if it is flat. 25 Siri Peaks Drive. So if you guys are into having realistic looking terrain, this is kind of my workflow. Takes a little bit of work though. Okay, and now I got to remember how to use this. Yeah, see, this is a pretty hilly terrain. Look at that, a couple peaks off in the distance. All right, so I'm going to try this one more time in Photoshop, see if we can get that plugin to get the proper height. It would be nice if it just worked right out of the box and you guys were like wowed by my OS. Sierra Beach Drive. Let's do that. Let's see if we can't get more terrain built in here. All right, last try. What happened? Anything? No. See, and it's even got this weird little crevasse running right through the middle of it. All right, so I'm just going to import my last terrain from another project. So in Twinmotion, File, Import, and then go to the Landscape tab, and you can pick a grayscale map. So I'll just work with one that I have already. And we're going to say, yeah, 3,000 meters is about typical for what I'm doing here. Same with the amplitude, smoothing turned on, and we'll see what it does. There we go. So it's there. And the great thing about importing in this way is that you can move the terrain with this method. Some other methods, you can't move the terrain. So you have to move the model as opposed to the terrain. And then let's get rid of this starting ground. And also, the great thing about this is you can still sculpt the terrain. So kind of be working this in place. I'm going to have to double check the sitemap to just see how far off I am on this, since we're using a terrain that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this project. I'm going to end up re-sloping this hillside to make this huge drop off for the rock face. I can just start that now. Pump up the diameter here. And then kind of work it back. I like to kind of pick a low point, like maybe down here, and then make everything flat from there, and then work backwards from having a flat section. So you can see the grass, the terrain's still too high, right? So you can drop down just a section and then kind of hit a flat point based on one part of that section. So same thing, here's a flat point right here to get that deck. Then we can get this big drop off. Kind of therapeutic. Got to double check that site plan and see how that entrance goes for the garage. This is in Arizona, so I always go back a level. If you click back to the landscape level, get into paint terrain, and then there's options that show up in paint terrain from Twinmotion itself, but you can always go back into your own user library and use your own terrain, which I like to do because my terrain always has a little more detail to it. Again, this is Arizona, so this is more appropriate for what we're looking at. And then you can see I I cut the actual terrain from Chief Architect to be pretty close to the model, and sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't use it at all. Probably won't use it for this one, so I might just turn this terrain off, the terrain perimeter from Chief Architect. And then obviously I got to fix some things like this, huh? Rock face right in the middle of the house. Sculpt terrain. Okay. There we go. Oops. That's about right. Let's see. Let's see, what do we got? A lot of trees. A lot of trees, a lot of rocks. You can change the height of trees, David. If you're using the painted vegetation tool, you can just I'm going to take your comment down for a second. If you're using the painted vegetation tool, you simply select your trees. You can shift select trees, multiple trees, right? And then go into settings, and you can set the age of the tree, and that'll change the height. See? Is that helpful? Let me know if that's what you're referring to. No. Okay, let me reread what you have then. Let me see. Oh, you're wanting to change like kind of the style of how it's modeled, huh? Gotcha. Yeah. No way to do that. I mean, that's just the way it's modeled. You can always import your own trees, by the way. It's I've never tried it before, but I think you can actually export to Unreal Engine from here. So like you could take just a blank scene, export to Unreal Engine one tree, and then export from there as an FBX file, delete the lowest branches on the mature tree, and then bring it back in. Sounds like a pain in the ass, but I know it's possible. Or just get different tree resources. I have a few trees that I bring in that are not Twinmotion trees that just look more realistic to me. So I use them on occasion. Look, this fire pit looks terrible. Terrible. No, not really. I mean, if we take a look at statistics, I mean, by the time I'm done with these projects, I'm usually at a 2 gigabyte file, which is large. I'm usually at 50 million polygons, which is large. Can't wait for a 4090 to come out. Yeah, flaming cereal ball. That's what that looks like. I like it. Flaming cereal ball. This is a big part of my workflow. Always create sub-containers. This is going to be primary bedroom. And then set active container. So anything I put will jump in the active container. And then I've got some patio stuff to throw out here. I have like pre-done patio stuff, but I did these back before Twinmotion had its new like centering tool. I'm not really actually sure what it's called, but they've got a new centering tool, and I need to redo this as I go. So like when I select this patio assembly and try to place it in plan, see it's not actually placing anywhere near the cursor. So I'm going to place it, and we'll see it show up in our scene graph right there. And now I need to center this up and then find that positioning node, what they call the gizmo. There it is. And there's my stuff. And I'm not sure that that was even the patio set that I wanted, but now since I've recentered it, I want to add it back. So I'm going to delete this from my library. Yes. And then add this back to the library. Now that it's been recentered. And there we go. And then I don't really like that patio set, so I'm probably going to get rid of it anyways. Let's try a different one. Probably the same problem on all these. Yep, same problem. Yeah, so Smith patio, get rid of it. Add it from the library. Had to use the library. All right, let's see if there's anything usable in this one. Kind of like that couch. Sure, why not? This designer's super funny. I always feel like these rooms are just crazy undersized. And then he's always missing lighting. Never any lighting. That one's all right. Oops, same problem. Let's see, how was this one? Got to delete it, add it back now that we've recentered it. This makes life easy, having assemblies already done. A bunch of different bedroom assemblies, and then you can kind of drag and drop as you need. This is not quite the style I'm going for, so I'm probably going to delete this one. It's kind of a modern looking home. That's a little bit better. Oh, I mean that's easy enough. You can do that. Let's see. How can we figure that out? I might be able to do that on the fly. Let's see. Without having to prep. Let me see if there's some recess lights in here anywhere. Yeah, this designer uses those semi-flush mount everywhere. Be easier for doing recess. Oh, look at that. Some terrain I got to fix. But yeah, I mean, you should be able to select something from your scene graph and then replace object. That's as simple as that. So you can search all of your replace object items and replace it with something appropriate. So that's almost worth saving and exiting out and showing you that trick, because that's a pretty cool one. So often this particular designer doesn't even have, oh, here we go. So there's a recess light. In fact, there's a bunch of recess lights. I can just replace them all. So I think I can shift select all of these and then replace object and then go into my library where I have emitters, and I have a recess light that has an emitter attached to it. Let me take this off the screen. So I selected all recess lights, and then I'm dropping this recess light in place, transform on, and then click start replacement. That should have worked, except for I get the point of doing the dummy light because it might be, I mean, that disappeared. That disappeared in the scene. Should have been working though. Where did it go? Because the Z coordinate might be off now. Who knows why? Oh, I might have needed to center that up first. Let me try that real quick. So here's a recess light. It's showing that this is weird. If I go back a level, it's showing I have an IES light here, but it's way down in the floor. Yeah, something about the Z coordinates plays in here. That can be problematic, especially with Chief, where, if you're exporting as 3DS, it kind of brings in some funny coordinates. So I might have needed to reset and center all those objects. Caused myself a big problem. That's what I did. That wasn't helpful at all. All right, let's try that. Well, you know what? It's still showing IES lights here. Great. Problems. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that one by one now. I think, unless you can come up with something smarter. And this one goes over here. Yeah, that caused a bunch of problems. I'll fix that later. undo, right? Yeah, I hear you. Oops. That's why you save before you do something stupid. Whoa. What happened there? All right. Back in this bedroom. What do we have? It's a really strange layout in a bedroom, right? Isn't that strange? What do you think he meant for this wall? Just a dresser, I guess? I mean, I guess I could put this chaise. Kind of strange, also. Strange. Yeah, that seems odd. Dresser. Dresser should go there. Used to have my preferences set to 15-degree angle snaps. I like that better as opposed to 5. What do you think? You have a TV here or a piece of art? It's crazy how TVs have become so center space to every room. You want to know why I'm not a fan of those? Because they're mounted too tall for a TV, or they're mounted too low to the ground for a piece of art. They'll never be both, right? It's too strange. Like, if you want to fake that it's a piece of art, it always looks like it's mounted too low. If you want to fake like it's a TV, it's always ergonomically just out of place. Yeah. Good sales gimmick, though. You know they got a lot of sales on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I need a better wood library. It's not bad. Yeah, I guess there's a thought, right? I am fortunate at my house. I've got some of my godfather's paintings that you guys always see in my renderings and stuff, and he lets me trade them out every 6 months or so, something like that. But that's a weird glitch. If I go and click on um, the StreamYard chat window and then go back to Twinmotion and move my 3D mouse before I've clicked in the Twinmotion window, it just zooms way out. Let's try that again. Look, I'll click in our StreamYard to comment, come back to the Twinmotion, move my 3D mouse. Yeah, zooms me way out immediately. Weird. This burgundy is a funny, interesting kind of look. Wonder what he was doing here. He's got two plugins right next to his fireplace. Very strange. When in doubt, put potted plants. It's kind of my go-to. It's kind of massive. I need new potted plants. It's so hard to find good potted plants. This is just a funny design. It's a funny layout. This room is a funny layout. It's just bizarre. What is happening here? It's a goof up somehow. Huh. I guess. Couple little tricks in Twinmotion here. You see we've got like this crazy stretched grain here. So I'm just going to pick this plank 1 and just hit duplicate and then replace and then change scale. And then can replace straight from here again. Yeah. Okay, into the master bath here. Some funny stuff going on in here too. Something like that. So this, Brian, this is someone else's architectural design. So we can just zoom out and take a look at the house real quick. Someone else did architectural design. Actually, we can pull this up in Chief just to show you what the difference is from what I receive versus what I end up giving as an end product. Spend 2 seconds here in Chief just so you can see. It's fun to see where the stuff started versus where it ends up. So this is what I receive from the client. And let's just do a quick little tour. Usually not too worried about missing files. And so, there's some errors here. There's some problem areas. You can see some problem areas there. Problem area with this big, don't even know what you want to call this, privacy wall or something like that. Kind of bad textures come into the kitchen, and you can see it's some errors just in the way the refrigerator is built. No fillers, kind of substandard fixtures. You can see here some problems here. Yeah, some goofiness. And then these fireplaces never look correct. I got to come in and kind of edit those. I open up doors. I do a bunch of color coding. Oh, look at that. They're showing this whole wall is stone. Very strange. Maybe that's true. I might need to revert that back. Or maybe it's an error. It looks like it could be an error. Who knows? Because look, this is all stone as well. They wanted a glass staircase railing set up. Joinery connection issues. So stuff like that. Bunch of little errors. Like the bathrooms, I always end up redoing all the bathrooms. The bathrooms, there's a double toilet in here. All there is a shower pan in the shower area. The vanities aren't really well considered. They look pretty juvenile. So I'll come in and clean that up and then put it to Twinmotion. And it's just for a rendering walkthrough, and it's for the clients to just get excited about some things. Obviously, there's not a rock that goes in the middle of this, so I need to fix that real quick. Here we go. So I come in and I kind of fix up the kitchen area for the most part. Try to spend as little time as I need, just to make it presentable. I need to kind of know what my video is going to include before I do a lot of this stuff, and then start trying to make it look pretty. I fixed a bunch of shelves, put a bunch of 1.5-inch face shelves in here. I use my closet system, and this closet will look nice once I've got it textured right. I build out the shower areas, and then just kind of got to figure out a color palette that makes sense. I obviously redid all these cabinets, stuff like that. We can look in that downstairs bathroom that I probably touched up. Oh, there's the staircase, which again, I need to fix some terrain, but made it an appropriate glass staircase with a center stringer. Oh, we got terrain spilling in everywhere. Whoops. And then I color code. Obviously, you can see all the color coding happening, so I know what rooms are what, and so that I can paint them differently. Still got to paint this shower out correctly. I redid this vanity, and it's got some weird texture things going on that I got to fix. So Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when it's done, it looks really nice. So it's a big part of it. Days hook between Chief and Twinmotion. Well, so yes, I agree. But it's not too many steps. You just need to export as a 3DS, and then your first panel here, you can just hit the refresh button on your 3DS. So if you've re-exported from Chief Architect and overwritten your original file, then all you need to do is hit refresh in Twinmotion, and it will automatically update. So I think that's pretty dang good. Happy with that. Yes, hopefully one day Chief will have a little bit more built-in compatibility with things. All right, so how do I make sense of this bathroom? Well, we need to change this color first of all. And also, what color stone? Maybe let's check out some of the Quixel stuff once I fix these walls real quick. The Megascans. You guys ever use the Megascan stuff in Twinmotion? That stuff's cool. All right, so we'll change the walls just in the bathroom area. It's too bad it's got this one return wall, and then, you know, it's not really set up for having it be painted a different color. And this client loves having multiple color rooms. This is an Arizona client, so oftentimes painting out multiple rooms. Actually, let's do, this might be a different color. Got stone against here. I wonder what the thought was there. Maybe something in that family. We want to go dark countertops. What do you guys think? It's kind of cool. I love that Quixel just plugs in, that you can just download this stuff on the fly. It's super clever. I wish that Chief Architect catalogs work this way. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, I might do it one by one here. I'm only doing this because otherwise this would take over my countertops in the kitchen, and I don't want to do that if I switch to like a global replace mode. And then we're going to have to make a duplication of this because the scale is so off on the backsplash. Feels very mountain-esque. Not sure I love that. It's a little wild. These rugs got to go. And we got to change the floor tile too. That doesn't look good. Fun to be able to just kind of guess and check. Light woods and anything contemporary. Yeah, it is going for modern. Oops. Let's see. I want this one. It's a terrible texture. Jeez. Wonder if I have some good floor tile. Probably change the flooring material too, which would make a big difference. There's so little money in the budget. It's a shame you can't, like there's not even a finished brief for these projects. So I just got to come up with stuff on the fly. And, I'm like everybody else. Sometimes I have off days. And this software makes such a big difference when you have the correct lighting in a scene too. Yeah, I have no good tiles here. Let's go back to Quixel. Feel like I could burn a full session just looking through this stuff. Kind of feel like there wouldn't be stone on that back wall. Doesn't make any sense, actually. Right? Would you spend all that money doing that? That'd be a hell of an expense. Yeah. Well, so here's the problem, David. The problem with this is I've been batting 1,000. I think this is project number 30 for this client. And so I haven't missed yet. That's the problem. I dug my own grave is the problem. I guess is what I'm saying. I'm sure it'll happen. One of these days I'll call him back and tell him I can't do this anymore. This is too difficult. Also, where are you putting the mirrors in this? Let's ask that question. what are we doing here? What is wrong with this bathroom? That's just I don't know why that just popped up in my head. Like what? The windows are way too low. There's no way. There's no way they're building it this way. It can't be right. I'm gonna have to go fix that. That's just silly. Yeah. Right? Yeah, where are we putting the mirrors? Yeah, makes no sense. There's no way it's getting built like this. So I got to go back to him and tell him we got to fix this. This is such a weird space. I kind of want to just go to a different room. Maybe I'll come back to this room. This one makes no sense. All right, color coding, flooring, carpet. There we go. It's my carpet texture. Looks pretty good for the most part. Let's get in. Oh, what is that? Oh, there's a window well. There's a light well. Skylight. Okay. Sure. Why not? Couple Omni lights here. This the architect for this is he's in his late 70s and he's been trying to retire for as long as I've known him. And this company keeps roping him back in for new projects. And he wants nothing to do with it. So it's every next project has a little less effort put into it. This is kind of funny. All right, I'm getting out of that bathroom. It's going to drive me nuts. What did you say, David? Yeah, no, I mean that was a mistake. There's no way that's not a mistake. He's definitely going to have vanity mirrors in there. Let's go downstairs. I mean, this is a funny house. No doubt about it. This is a funny house. Why is this a laundry? It's kind of funny. I'm actually going to grab that wood material from upstairs that you hate, David. It's going to run this material all through. I mean, while I'm getting free design advice, I probably should bug you guys about the living room. Living room's not quite right, but it's getting there. It's getting close. Like, I like it, but it's not perfect. I'll take us up there in a minute. Okay, I need to make a new container, downstairs bath. Reflection probe. Yeah, too late for that. Oh, shoot. I did it again. Zoomed way out. I mean, it's a cool house. But yeah, could use another like 20 design hours. work out a couple little funny things. That's not what that bathroom's for. That's right off the mudroom. Get out of here. No one's doing makeup down there. I wish Chief could handle the higher poly count items that you can pull in into Twinmotion, that Twinmotion just crushes, no problem. I mean, that's the biggest issue there. And I mean, just out of the box, you get a pretty decent looking PBR image in Twinmotion. So like these curtains would like cripple Chief Architect. I saw that comment, David. I'm not posting it. And I love that you could do stuff like this, you know, big stone face wall outside of the, I mean, this is actually, I haven't completely figured this out yet, but this is actually what this terrain is going to be like. So cool that you can do that in Twinmotion. Yeah, I'm guessing they're probably going to want a TV over here. I put some art, probably put a TV. Oops. Also, I think they want this to be like a ledge rock, which is their style, and I don't know, it just doesn't really suit the style of house. They want like a ledge rock stone here. This is the other thing about Twinmotion. I think their path tracer is pretty decent. Let me switch this to low. Get a quick image out of this. Yeah, path tracer is pretty decent on this. And then if you export it as a 4K and then post touch up in Photoshop, looks pretty good. It's just how they had it before. They had a ledge in front of it. I agree with you. I don't think it really fits, especially considering that we've got our door, you know, tucked up right next to it, which feels really odd. So I totally agree with you. Don't think there should be a hearth there, but that's one of those things. They tend to fight back on me whenever I touch the fireplace, whenever I mess with the fireplace configuration. So let's see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they want a stone ledge rock here, which, I mean, we'll take a look at what it looks like, but I don't think it's going to look good. I'm just not that big of a fan of this ledge rock indoors anyways. So let's see what this is. I think this took multiple materials to get right. So this is going to be a pain. Yeah. Well, and it would make no sense to have this on the hearth like this either. Yeah, strange setup. I think I like what I had before. And then I also think they have it on this wall. Strange. Don't love it. Before I'm going to leave what I had before and see what they say. They can come back on me. Makes sense. Right? All right, let me bounce somewhere else. Yeah, there's another bathroom up here. Yep. Yeah, I got all kinds of funny material issues. Just gotta go start taking this one at a time. Office is fun. Why not? I COVID last week, could barely stay awake, and so I'm way behind on this. It's crazy how much you have to do sometimes just to paint one color on the wall. Ah, dang it, did it again. Oops. It's not terrible. Actually, David, it does the same thing in Chief, believe it or not. If you try to zoom in while you're in another program with your 3D mouse, Chief will do the same exact thing. Man, no good tile floor, huh? It's terrible. It's tough to find a lot of good tile material without just making it all the time. Actually, how am I going to do that? Let me see. Go back. Nice sunny looking room. Probably not a peach desk. Getting into details that don't matter. The king of that. King. What a weird bathroom this is. Huh? Man, strange. See, and here you go. I wish this door... I screwed up. That should have been opened. Oh, and I didn't build out a shower area. Oops. So now I have to go back to Chief and do that. Dang it. If I'm being honest, David, I agree with you. I also don't charge this client enough. I need to charge more. Let's see. Well, rabbitdesign.net. That's always an easy way to get a hold of me. I suppose I should just be posting that in my YouTube like every time, huh? And I mean, if you're a Chief Architect user and you've never been to this site, there's a lot of cool resources here in the tools section. So Brian, go to the tools section, and the first tab is symbols and content. There's a bunch of free Chief Architect symbols. I just started posting some Twinmotion symbols. In fact, since I've got you guys here, let's get another Twinmotion symbol up on the board, because that might be nice. Maybe I'll share my my roofing material. But and then I have a bunch of code lookup resources, search engines that are built specifically for getting textures or models. So you can search leather, for instance, and then it brings up a bunch of seamless textures that are leather seamless textures. So this is all on the website. So if you've never gone there, go check it out, because there's a bunch of cool stuff there. And the symbols and content section gets built out. Every Friday we add something here. So it's getting more and more robust as time goes by. CADsoft. I'm not familiar with CADsoft. Soft Plan? Is that what you mean? I don't know CADsoft. I haven't heard of that one. I mean, David, if we're being real, right? Like, there's very few people that are set up in the United States to be competitive in the rendering market. It's so challenging. So I tell people all the time, I mean, it's fun and it's addicting. That's why people sink all their time into it, but there's no way they're making margin on learning rendering. It's such a robust topic, and it takes a lot to become proficient at rendering. So I don't know. I always tell people hire a rendering artist, unless you just want to do it, right? Unless it's just fun. Okay, so I learned this trick. One problem with the Datasmith thing is I find that materials get replaced when I resync, and that's problematic. So like this, what is that? Why is there stone on just? Oh, I guess there's supposed to be stone there. Anyways, when I resync, I lose a bunch of materials. So I just found this trick, and I'm hoping it works. And the trick is, I think if I go in the edit menu, yeah, resource collector. And then I want to check substitution table, unused materials. I don't need to compress the files. And then open a destination path that is a known path. And I think it needs to be within the same folder as your Twinmotion file. Select folder. Okay, now that's going to collect resources. Now when I go fix that bathroom, yeah, sure. Now I want to go fix that bathroom and then resync the Datasmith. Hopefully I don't lose a bunch of material work that I did. Now Envision. Okay. I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah, that's new to me. Yeah, Chief is crazy good, man. I mean, it really is. You want a demonstration of Chief? Brian, have you had any demonstrations of Chief? Have you messed around with the software? Let me know. I'm curious. I mean, we're going to get into it right now, real quick. I like that Twinmotion keeps improving too. Like even the save time has been improved a lot in the newest version. All right, so I'm going to open up that same file. Models from other layouts, but not drawn from scratch. Okay, understood. Jared, man, how are you doing? Dude, are you going to IBS this year? And are you going to Chiefs Advanced User Level 2 this year? I'm curious if you're going to either of those, either the Vegas IBS or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in August for Chiefs Advanced 2. Okay, so I forgot to do a bath. Oops. My bad. Usually the Kohler baths within Chief are too high of a vector count for a 3ds export anyway, so I'm not even going to get this bathtub when I put it in plan, but I'll still go through the paces. So this is part of my kitchen bath toolkit that I sell in my shop that makes drawing a bath really quick and easy. Do a little point to point. This is an architectural block. Part of the architectural block is that it's got a cabinet, and that's just meant to let you snap a backsplash tool to create your bathtub surround. If that made any sense. Hopefully it did. Who knows? And then let me pull a view. Nice. Ah, man, I gotta go. There's too many people I know that are going. I wasn't going to, but now I kind of want to. Do you link up with Dan Bowman at all? Do you stay with him at all? I know he's getting a place out there. Let's see, David says, what I discovered is if you're trying to do something specific on your final design and get stuck learning how to do something, drop out and make a simple example to learn how the issue works. Yeah, I mean I do that all the time for complicated stair railings. I'll make a fixture out of a stair railing as opposed to just using the stair railing itself. Okay, so if this worked correctly, I should be able to just use the backsplash tool real quick. There we go. Only problem being that it's cutting away from that. You know what? I'll use it on the other side and then flip it about the room. Do not show me this guy. That's a new X14 error if you guys are running into that at all. Something about an outdated manufacturer catalog from, say, Kohler, where their compressed material files are missing an object in their zip archive for their material resources, so that if you bring forward a plan from a previous version and utilize something in the previous Kohler catalog, it brings up that error. All right, I think you made my decision for me. I think I got to join as well, hang out with you guys. Oop, there's that glitch again. See, funny, huh? Jared, have I shown you my trick for making? Have you seen my trick for making standing seam roofs look realistic? All right, I'm going to open this door up. And it's probably going to only open halfway. So we got to open it up, get into options, get this to like 96% open. And then here is my trick for making bathtub doors, bath doors. Operable bath doors, I should say. That's the fun part. Except for this is really close to this corner, so it might do something weird. There we go. Looks like a bath door, right? Okay, so yeah, we can do this touch on this real quick. It's going to be one of those like no-brainer moments as soon as you see what I did here. So all this is a roof plane, and then in your structure tab, your structure panel, in our surface, radio button surface, I add an inch, right? So it stands up an inch, and then grab both selected edges and add a shadow board with an offset. Let's see if I can give you a better view of this. Here, we can turn on, this will make it really easy to see. Line drawing. So then it's just got a shadow board on either side. So you do one of these and then, multiple copy across. And then I made a custom ridge molding to just kind of capture. And it's helpful if you keep these, pulled away from your eaves, from your fascia, because then they're not fighting anything, not fighting any kind of fascia settings or anything like that. But then when we go look at Twinmotion, they look pretty good when it's all said and done. A little bit of work, but yeah, right? That's a good one, huh? And I mean, the only other thing is in plan, it looks kind of crazy, but you could put it on its own layer and hide it if you didn't want to see all these. But yeah, you can see all of them if you want to show them. If you want to, detail out how these things are going to be joined together. All right, now I got to remember what I was doing again. All right, we're in the bathroom here. Okay, so we got a bathtub. That's right. I'm going to have to replace the bathtub anyways. So let's re-export this. Here's the other part of this trick for the datasmith, David, if you're still here, is I think I need to delete all of the previous materials that are exported with the 3ds. If that makes any sense. Let's see, 3ds. Yeah, I think I have to get rid of all these because otherwise Chief will make a duplicate. So I'll just put them in backup, which means it's going to want to replace files. That's fine. And then complete the export. Overwrite the existing main. Okay, so we're overwriting the existing main. Hopefully, if I do this right, we don't lose a bunch of materials. And there we go. It's going to say tub didn't get exported. Oops. Bunch of errors. All right. So let's get back into that bathroom. And just hit the refresh. And we have a tub. And it tried to replace the materials for the tub. Or we at least have the shower surround. Okay, so here's something funny. It replaced all the materials for the casings. It kept a lot of things. Yeah, I don't really know what the magic equation is for that whole process. Because look, we lost all the materials in the kitchen. Well, we lost some of the materials in the kitchen. And we grabbed some new weird materials in this room. So it's not perfect. Wouldn't that be funny? Just a bunch of wood paneling in this room. I actually don't hate it. Oh, man. So, yeah, I got to go redo some work just because I didn't prep my model correctly. Big dummy. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It changed the material color in this room. Very strange. Changed a bunch of materials. Who knows? All right, my phone's blown up. I got so many emails to respond to. I think I might need to stop working on this. Get back to some other stuff. You guys got any questions? Any questions I can answer before I kind of close up? Yeah. Well, no, I hear you have those problems no matter what you're using. I had those same problems when I was exporting to SketchUp first. So I know those problems still exist. I don't know what the deal is. It's actually pretty well documented in the Twinmotion forums. When are you signing up for? What is UGM? Is that the Coeur d'Alene thing? You signing up for UGM? To tell me what that means. Oh, dang it. I did that stupid glitch again. Thinks I'm a security breach. So just here's the only thing. Make sure it's rabbit with 2 B's and 2 T's. rabbitdesign.net. .net. Let's see if I can put that up on the screen real quick for you. Design.net. Oh, I guess I could just post it in comment. That makes more sense. Yeah, get what you pay for. I hear that. Oh, the user group meeting. In my what was your first question then? When are you signing up for it? I don't know. I got to do it. I know it's a chunk of change right now, and where I'm going through a refinance with my house at the moment, so trying not to show a chunk of change missing from my account, but I think I might just have to do it anyways. And I got so much to fix from that Datasmith re-up. Look at all the materials I got screwed up. Tons of materials got screwed up. Let's see. What we're talking about, Brian, is, and I mean, if you are interested in switching over to Chief, Chief has a user group meeting, but it's also training. Basically, they're offering training on site at their location in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, in August. And it's kind of a big event. They have a bunch of social gathering stuff planned as well. I've never been, but I hear it's great, and I was planning on going this year. They just added a advanced level user, so that would be the reason for me wanting to show up there, because we actually get to talk to some of the developers at Chief, and that's pretty nice to get to ask them questions. So I got to put together my list of questions, I guess, is the next thing. I wonder if I can pull up a link for that. I probably can. Let's see if we can get here. Under announced. So Chief Talk is Chief Architects Forums. They call it Chief Academy 2022. And here's the event link. I'm going to post it here in the comments. There you go. That's their user events page. Yeah, and we get some fun guys show up to this. I mean, heck, if Joe Carrick's going to be there and Scott Hall, these guys are heavy hitters in our group. And then obviously the developers and marketing team over there. Good guys, fun guys to talk to. Sweet. All right, guys, I'm going to log off. I'm going to go fix this on my own time. I'll come back to you when it's closer to done, maybe another day this week, hopefully tomorrow, actually. So stay tuned. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for hanging out.